returned to MPX at Wicked Ways when they squared off against Steel Money in the exclusive pre-show match. We had two very different styles with these two teams, which featured the high-flying style of Steel Money versus the rough and rugged style of Oklahoma Famous. Both teams came in this match looking for a win in order to get back into tag team title contention to hopefully earn a shot for the titles currently held by the Trust Fund. Despite the efforts of Kenny Steele and Orion Payday Taylor, it would be John Famous and Doberman that would leave Wicked Ways victorious. Outlaw Randy Wayne wasted little time kicking things off by calling out Stephen Kirby and demanding that their Falls Count Anywhere match begin immediately. Of course, after getting screwed over by Jamie Aller in his MPX title match the previous show, Randy Wayne would hope to have an easier time with Aller handcuffed to the bottom rope for the duration of this match. The most pissed off man alive and Mr. Mayhem would fight all over the building using anything and everything they could find as weapons. We all know about the hatred that Randy Wayne has for Jamie Aller and the Trust Fund, and it was even speculated before the match began if it would be too much to withstand for the Outlaw. At one point the match went to the outside as both men left the building in their vehicles with Randy Wayne in hot pursuit of Stephen Kirby. A few matches later, with Aller still handcuffed to the ring rope, Kirby would return to free his manager, and with Randy Wayne right behind him, the match continued. This would lead to Stephen Kirby earning the victory with a DDT on the floor at Wicked Ways. Our very first meeting of the night between the Faithful and the Trust Fund would see Trust Fund member Joey Garcia taking on the Angel of Misery, James Johnson. Despite still being handcuffed to the ring rope, Jamie Aller would prove useful at ringside during this match, as we see where he trips James Johnson coming off the second turnbuckle. A lot of athleticism was shown by both the highlight of the night and James Johnson, but it would be the Angel of Misery with the Death Valley Driver scoring the victory for the Faithful. The MPX Addicts witnessed the return at Wicked Ways of the one and only Opera Man, as he would end up going one-on-one with the undefeated Baby Dumplings. The Luciano Pavarotti wannabe looked for his first victory inside an MPX ring, really taking it to Baby Dumplings, despite Baby D having the size advantage. Opera Man would come up short once again as the undefeated streak continued for Baby Dumplings after hitting the TKO. MPX's Wicked Ways saw the tag team debut of Chase Malone and Jackson Stone as they took on the team of Frankie Fisher and the Jersey Jackass BC, the Flying Jackasses. The former tag team champions welcomed the newcomers to MPX with the usual barrage of offense, out-wrestling the two rookies in the early going. However, thanks to the teamwork of Stone and Malone, the newcomers quickly found themselves in full control. As the match went on, Frankie Fisher, still feeling the effects of the concussion suffered several weeks back, would end up taking the pinfall, allowing Jackson Stone and Chase Malone to be victorious in their MPX debut. We saw the Bird of Prey Kyle Hawk telling the MPX Addicts exactly what he thinks of them, going one-on-one with the expert Brandon Collins. We knew this one was going to be a great technical match, and these two guys did not disappoint from the very beginning. We've seen a new attitude as of late for Kyle Hawk ever since turning his back on the complex killer Jason Silver, and one had to wonder if that new attitude would come into play and lead to a successful victory for Kyle Hawk at Wicked Ways. Just when it looked as if the Bird of Prey was going to tap out, he purposely gets himself disqualified, leading to Brandon Collins picking up the victory. The main event of Wicked Ways saw six-man tag team action with the Faithful versus the Trust Fund. In what was definitely an MPX first, this match started off with Xavier Daniels pulling out a shank to try to use against the Faithful. After being reminded that he was no longer in Cell Block D, this one was underway. New Faithful members Angel of Death Scott McKenzie and Angel of War Lee Fane quickly showed off why they were recruited by Mike Fox to join the group. This was also our first time to see Jerome Daniels' cousin Xavier in action, showing that Jerome isn't the only talented member of the family. We had hard-hitting action all throughout this one, with both factions trying to prove that they were the most dominant group in MPX. While the Faithful were victorious on this night, the war is far from over between these two groups.